So we all know regular burn is not playable in Legacy. But what about black burn with a very large number of Lurgoyfs? Hello folks, Phil Gallagher, aka ThrabenU here for another Legacy video. And today, we're going to be playing, I guess, Rakdos Burn. It's a little weird, bear with me, but here's how we got to this deck list. So Logo asked me to revisit this idea of black burn. And I rewatched my old video conclusion, and this was from a time when grief was legal, and I am currently recording while Troll of Khazad-dum is legal. Maybe that won't be true in another week or so. But my conclusion in the video was that the cards that looked like this were just fully better than everything else in the deck list. And we realized that playing the black burn cards that do not have the proper modality to make good choices was just bad. Lightning Bolt can be creature removal. It can go to face. It can go to a planeswalker. You get that choice. Bump into the Night always goes to face. Tyrant's Choice, always the worst option for you. Sovereign's Bite, always going to face. And I highlighted that Goblin Guide, one of the best aggressive red creatures ever printed, was just not good enough in Legacy anymore. So I had to do some soul searching. How is it that we can play a reasonable, or maybe reasonable-ish, Rakdos burn deck? How do we burn in black in Legacy? And I got to an answer, but the journey was a little weird. So I started thinking about Pyrogoyf. Pyrogoyf is one of the most efficient burn spells in Legacy, in that it probably sends 4 or 5 to face immediately, attacks for 4 or 5 the following turn, and can be copied for a bunch of damage. This is a deck list that Brian, aka Bosch and Roll, played on his channel not too long ago, and this was kind of where my head was at, was like, how do we Pyrogoyf relatively hard while also sending other direct damage to face? And in trying to create a black burn deck list, I decided the answer wasn't black burn spells, it was actually black creatures. So we get 8 aggressive 1-drop black creatures that are going to get large. Now, would a Goblin Guide get in there immediately for more damage than a Stalker? Yes, absolutely. But Menace matters so much. Goblin Guide was just getting bricked by opposing creatures the last time I played with it, and so I want either evasive creatures or I want large creatures. And conceptually, what I want to do in this deck is play a reasonable early game and then reach a Pyrogoyf endgame. So, if I can deal, let's say, 10 points of damage to my opponent between a couple of Goyfs, some Stalkers, some Lightning Bolts, whatever, and then reach the point where I can just play a Pyrogoyf, dome you, and the next turn copy a Goyf, play another Goyf, or play a more other Goyf, then maybe we can actually build something that is a reasonable Rakdos burn deck. Is this the most traditional burn deck in that, do we just have, 20 cards that deal 3 damage to face? No. Is this Rakdos burn adjusted for where Legacy is at in a very unhealthy metagame? Yeah, probably. I think we need to lean into something broken if we want to make something burn adjacent work in Legacy. And as I alluded to earlier, Troll of Khazad-dum might not be legal in another week or two, depending on when exactly this video drops. I think either this or Entomb are pretty likely to eat a ban. If you want to hear more thoughts on that, check out the latest episode of the Eternal Glory podcast. And it's possible I should maybe even have an Animate Dead or two in here beyond that. I'm getting a little greedy in deck construction here. I'm going to try to run 19 lands to make my numbers work. I am concerned with having a mix of different spell types here because I do care about growing these creatures quite a bit. So I have even included a 5th bauble to make sure we get artifact in there more frequently, and I maybe even should have a couple more instants here at the cost of like maybe a Fable or a Pyrogoyf at the top end. We'll kind of see how this plays out. We're very much in the like we're getting weird, this is experimental stage. The sideboard is pretty focused on busted stuff because hopefully like we can just goyf around and kill slower mid-rangey decks. Leyline of the Void is basically obligatory right now in Legacy due to the omnipresence of Oops All spells, and I wanted a lot of other generic things that I could board against combo, and then we have just a few things that can help me adjust for more fair matchups or extremely greedy matchups. So, here is our Black Goyf Burn. We'll see how this does. I think the current metagame, which is basically devoid of control, requires some Thoughtseize effects in the main deck, so we'll see how this does. Folks, should you need any Goyfs for your collection, please consider checking out my sponsor, TOAMagic.com. They've got something crazy like 100,000 different unique Magic the Gathering cards in stock at any given time, and promo code ThrabenU will let you save 5% on any of them, while also getting free shipping. Let's battle. All right. I mean, this is what I want to do, right? Oh, that volume's got to go down. Too loud on my end. Okay. So this is what I want to do. I want to go and get an aggressive black creature into play as quickly as possible. Okay. All right. All right. Silent Goat and I are apparently on the same overall wavelength here. Yeah, now I just get to do something fucking busted, right? I get to roll cycle into Reanimated immediately while getting my colors. I could get Blood Mooned. That's, I guess, the thing that could happen. Assuming I am getting bad lands off of this. Because I have, you know, castable red cards in hand. This is a mountain if you squint hard enough, right? If I do get Blood Mooned. I think we're just living with it. So Troll Cycle, Reanimate Troll, Punchies for 2, scale up this creature. I have 9 power in play, and 6 direct damage that can go to face. My opponent's also pretty likely to play an Ancient Tomb. I mean, Broadside's good. Broadside will potentially eat a Lightning Bolt. Alright, there is a Fury. Well, that's real good. So, my opponent is going to yeet the Fury, and then kill my other creature. So, what do I want to do? Conceptually, I would love to play this and then follow it up with Nethergoyf afterwards, but I'm not guaranteed to hit my next land drop. I could look, I could surveil. I probably don't need double red this turn. Let's do that. There's another Goyf. I into just playing a couple of 4/5s that beat face. No, I'd rather hit the land, honestly. And plus, we can put that into graveyard and potentially get it back out later. So I'm going to hold up Lightning Bolt and presumably Lightning Bolt Broadside. And this is exactly what I was talking about in the intro, where when you're playing the physical black burn spells, you don't get the choice of whether or not they get to kill creatures. There is a Pyrogoyf. That's just going to my face. And when my opponent goes to combat, I will nuke their Broadside. Fury cost us a lot this game. Stalker's not good here. Stalker might be chump blocking a Pyrogoyf. Yeah. I think I have to keep swinging here. Alright, so opponent blocks. That means that I can finish off their Pyrogoyf and play a Stalker, which at this stage of the game is not super strong. But this is 11 damage on board, meaning that Pyrogoyf to face is lethal if these do connect. That is an if, though. One ring can happen, plenty of blockers can happen. There's some weird choice, being made here. Like, opponent's thinking pretty hard. Land? Okay. Are we getting in there? It's so easy for me to die. I think I'm getting in there. Opponent might need to block this to play around my Pyrogoyfs. I don't know whether or not that's going to be on their radar. Yeah, it is. So I don't have it this turn. You're 4 to escape. You're 3 to escape. How many cards from graveyard? I mean, I think you're coming in, regardless. So, instant, creature, sorcery, artifact. My creatures are smaller in the short term, but now there's multiple of them. I'm probably supposed to do this slightly differently. So I should not do land, because I'm likely to hit a land and then fetch and play the Pyrogoyf so that the lands could grow the Goyfs. Yeah, I think I did that wrong. I think I leave artifact sorcery in there or something. 3 mana, Trinosphere. Okay. That's just lethal, isn't it? Yeah, so that just goes to face, and this has menace. Yep. Just for giggles, what was I going to draw? A Stalker. Not good at that stage. Okay. So, Molten Collapse is reasonable. Duress is not crazy. Null Rod is not crazy. Thoughtseize is probably not something that I want to be playing. My opponent is a Chalice deck, and the life totals are very, very tight in this game. So this gets me Molten Collapse. And I can play Null Rod for the One Ring, and I have some negative synergy with that. Or I could play a Meltdown or keep a couple of Thoughtseizes. I will keep 2 Thoughtseizes. I think I can't make a swap for Duress. I think it's too important to take things like opposing Goyfs. This is a slightly awkward hand. I have double Thoughtseize, which is a card I don't really want in the matchup. And I have 2 creatures that care about the graveyard without, like, the best ways of fueling Stalker here. I also am not descending for a Molten Collapse for what it's worth. I don't think I really want the double Thoughtseize hand against my opponent's One Ring deck. Yeah, I'll need land. It's fine. I'm thinking about whether or not I am keeping an unimpressive Stalker, or whether or not I'm keeping a Reanimate for upside later on. Like, I Molten Collapse a creature and then just reanimate it. I think that's what I'm going to do. This is a very strange hand, though. City of Traders and pass. So much for my Molten Collapse on my opponent's turn 1 thing. That's not really how I wanted this to go. That's a lot of colorless mana. Just the ring? Yeah, it's just the ring. That sucks for me. And I am a little land light here. I knew I was taking some risks in deck construction. So opponent's got 9 cards in hand, and will presumably be drawing into things that are good to do. I want to see something that I can reanimate. Like, one of the worst things would just be something like a Fable. That's not great either, obviously. Ugh. Alright, I have no castable cards currently. Opponent's down to 17. I am just going to get buried by the One Ring. I am not playing Magic this game, unfortunately. And Karn. Karn just gets liquid metal coating, and I die to that. Yeah. So I'll take a draw. If it's a land, I can kill Karn and have some chance here. It is a land. Okay, I am not instantly dead. I'm going to let my opponent cast the coating. Oh, fuck. What if they played around it, though? I'm going to hope they don't. I think I need to high roll a little bit here. Opponent is at a whopping 12 cards in hand. All right, that is the coating. So I will let them target the land, and then I will nuke Karn. Oop. Alright, so that gets me a turn worth of tempo, which is worth some amount of damage. I guess it would be cool if my opponent, like, discarded a Pyrogoyf that I could reanimate. That would be sick. They did not do that. Goyf? Like, I could Molten Collapse a Chrome Mox to try to set my opponent back on mana, but I think I'm just going to play a large lifelinky thing and hope that that does something cool. Opponent is at 8. I can take a lot of damage very, very quickly from things like Broadside. My opponent can play a new One Ring to rip the counters off of this one. Yeah. So my Goyf is a 5/6. However, there's not an artifact in the graveyard. Yeah, there's not an artifact in the graveyard yet. So the One Ring being thrown at this doesn't actually kill it. So that's probably going at my face. That goes at my face. My opponent dies to getting cracked by Goyf? Or they just have like a Fury or something they can throw at it as well. Spirit Guide. Okay, it is Fury as well. Sure. It had to be an evoked Fury, though. My opponent has to discard another card here. Am I reanimating their Fury? Killing Broadside? Probably pretty good. That's probably pretty good. The opponent is at 6. If I draw a land, a Pyrogoyf will be lethal at any stage. but this is going to be tight in terms of closing out this game. Spirit Guide. It is a new broadside, so they can throw something at Fury. Oh, it is 2 broadsides. Oh, I just fucking die. That's disappointing. So I can't block, obviously. They both have Menace. So Trinosphere whacks me for 5, throwing the other broadside with the first broadside. Whacks me for 5 as well. Oh, that's disappointing. Yeah, we win on the next turn. We nearly brought that one back from, what was it, turn 2, the One Ring, and a pretty sketchy mulligan on my end. Today's video is sponsored by Moxfield.com, which is just the best place to keep your online deck lists. And one of the things that I love about them is that you can use it to keep track of what cards you do and don't have for a deck. So for example, in this deck list, I have all of the cards, so there are nice blue bubbles filled in here, and that's automatically ported over to your collection tab, where you can see exactly what cards you do and don't have. All right, opening hand does not have mana here. I'm not sure that the second hand works either. I mean, this one does the broken thing that is potentially going to get banned in the format. On 5, I will keep this. On 5, I probably don't get to... I'm definitely not lightning bolting. I could Thoughtseize on 1 into Troll and Reanimate on 2 while keeping the Soul Land. That probably has the highest percentage chance of winning. We've got Tundra and Tameo. Sure. Well, that's not where I thought this was going, but that's where we've ended up. I think I'm going to start the game on basics. Lightning Bolt doing Lightning Bolt things. Opponent gets some selection. Then a fetch to clear, but they're not going to clear yet. So let's Swamp Cycle. Pick up a Swamp. I'm going to see what's going on over there. I've seen a Swords to Plowshares. I am now going to Thoughtseize rather than Reanimate this turn. Thank you, Bobble. Okay. Let's take the thing that's gonna beat me long term. And yeah. Double Swords is absolutely not what I wanted to see over there. So my opponent's white removal is going to be very good against the Reanimate bullshit that I am trying to do here. And if I were them, I would not be getting rid of Swords to Plowshares here. Okay. Well, I'm under pressure. I've used a Lightning Bolt. Okay, opponent's going for Cryptic Coat rather than something like Cauldra immediately. Slow Cantrip is not really what I want here. I am going to Bobble myself. I want that card. I guess we're going to be life neutral on Troll, right? Like, this will resolve, my opponent will eat it. With the swords, I will go back up to my appropriate life total, and then I can start Pyrogoyfing. So opponent's just going to hardcast the Cryptic Coat so that they can start getting Duders. And then Swords happens. I eat 1 from Stoneforge in combat, and then I'll Surveil end of turn. Not want the bonus mana at this point. This is a 6/7. Also, we're doing a thing here. So I cast a Goyf. It resolves. I send damage at my opponent's face. 13. I play a new Goyf, which triggers Pyrogoyf. I think I am comfortable doing this. And if my opponent has Cauldra, well, damn. Sucks to be me. My Pyrogoyf is likely to eat the second Swords to Plowshares, which I'm going to assume is still there. And then I'll have a 4/5 in play versus Cryptic Coat. This was the Black Burn idea, right? Is just Goyfs into Goyfs. That was 10 direct damage to my opponent's face. Seems good. All right, we're chilling. Is there Cauldra? I think this is a let's find out situation. Waiting does not favor me because my opponent can just start 4 mana, pick up Cryptic Coat, put it back in with Stoneforge. Which is mostly what I'm hoping is happening here. Oh, so they're telling me they don't have that before I make the attack. I mean, I'm sending in here. Now I can't get ambush. I mean, I guess I could still get ambushed by a cloaked creature. All right, opponent is at 5. I'm going to hold this land in hand. So there's the bounce on that. Barrowgoyf to face will be lethal. Down to 4. Don't love that. Oh, it's actual fucking batter skull. All right, let's just draw a Goyf off the top, huh? Pyrogoyf. I mean, it's not nothing. My opponent will put in the batter skull in response, but I can take the cryptic coat. Seems good. Fuck. Does this make it unblockable? Okay, but they can't equip it to the batter skull germ. All right, I guess I'm taking Jace, and I don't attack. So my opponent could just go 5 mana, equipped to cloaked creature, attack in for 6. That puts them outside of range of dying immediately. I'm going to die to an army of cloaked creatures. Alright, so my opponent is doing this just to gain the life. I mean, I'll block so I don't take the damage, but they can just pick this up and put it back down again. This is the stage of the game where the slow cantrips hurt. Spell Pierce is a dead card. I hope my opponent draws it, but they might shuffle. And again, since Battle Skull can come right back in, it is a net negative for me to attack in. Then my opponent is presumably going to pick this up and put it back down again, or pick up Batter Skull. Either way is very good. So now my opponent might just dump 5 mana into equipping this one that can't be blocked. Reanimate. I don't have a Pyrogoyf in there because exile-based removal is strong. Yes, I do not have the removal spell there to punish, and I would be able to pay for Ward 2. Oh, it was a Tamiyo as well. Sure. Is a clue token better than 2 more life? Unsure. We have flooded out. I think this is the point where I am willing to tap out. GG. Fire Blasts seem reasonable. Molten Collapse and Duress seem reasonable. And I think I am going to hope that I have my opponent dead before I need Null Rods in a lot of cases. What don't I want in my deck? Everything kind of matters. I can probably trim a slow cantrip. My Nethergoyfs are significantly less good in this matchup. I can probably trim a couple of those. They still trigger Pyrogoyf, which is relevant. Is Stalker worse, actually? Like, triggering Pyrogoyf is kind of a big deal. I could go down on bolts. I don't know, my opponent has multiple Jace the Mind Sculptors, and Answering Stoneforge does matter. I could go down Reanimate. What if I go like bam, bam, bam? I want all of these in here. What if I just don't Reanimate? Yeah, let's just not Reanimate. It's taking away a powerful angle of my deck. I think my opponent is just set up well against us, though. Yeah, absolutely. This hand slaps. I think I will Thought Seize next turn so that I get this scaling now. We've got to ponder. So I get my +1/+1 counter and my redraw. Okay, I have nice tools here. Opponent has a Tamiyo. I will take that with Lightning Bolt. I'll Thoughtseize first, I suppose. Those are good cards. I probably take Snapcaster Mage as the highest value card there. Make my opponent pay 3 mana for a Swords effect when they want it. So then we'll make sure I scale this up. We'll have another land coming. Lightning Bolt Tamiyo. Oh, I absolutely talked about doing the thing right, and then I did it wrong. I meant to take Swords to Plowshare so that they would have to do 3 mana to, like, in terms of tempo, to answer one of my creatures. Not what I intended on doing. Oh well. But, like, it absolutely matters for, like, these Goyfs and stuff. I'm going to try to incentivize my opponent to Swords to Plowshares this creature right now. Is that true? Maybe that's not true. Maybe I care about the 3 damage. They'll probably do it end of turn anyway. Alright, so they take the hit. Then I will do a new Stalker. Then that happens. It's actually a boon that I didn't draw a land to play this turn. Otherwise, my Goyf gets hit. Yeah. Brainstorm coming. Alright, cool. Scale up. Yeah, these baubles are very good at helping me scale up the Stalkers and the Nethergoyfs, but they come at some degree of real cost. All right, so I've seen this and this and that. Ward 2? Ward 2. I'm just going to dismiss these at this point. Opponent's at 12. And then I'm going to play a Goyf. And it's big. My other creature is scaling up decently as well. And we're hoping to get like one solid hit in with our creatures to put our opponent in Pyrogoyf Burn range. That's scary though. I can Molten Collapse that so my opponent can't put in Batterskull. Opponent's pretty close to actually hard casting the Batterskull though. Hopefully I just Pyrogoyf their face and it's not a problem. Ooh. We have a lot of direct damage. So, destroy target creature or planeswalker on Stoneforge Mystic. No Force of Will. I guess I should not auto yield here. Well, that was obviously not what I clicked on, but okay. Cool. You just got to gain 8 life for free. It's a boon. All right, you got to gain 3 life for free. Like a super relevant 3 life too. The Batterskull's coming. So I can attack in, kill the germ, but then my opponent could just re-equip, so that's not great. Do I want to kill this? Yeah, I want to kill that. So we have to pay for the ward here. This technically should have been done pre-combat. 8, which would be 5 if I clicked correctly previously, which would be 9 after this. The opponent is holding up mana. Snapcaster Mage is a thing that can happen, and then that could result in blocks happening. I think I am going to cast this and see if a Force of Will happens. It is a Brainstorm. The hardcast Force of Will is no longer live. Snapcaster Swords is still live. I'm considering killing the Germ token. I think I am going to do so. I am just a little wary of Snapcaster Swords right now. I don't want to get this Swords and then my opponent double blocks and takes this out as well. Cryptic Coat to hand. Alright. There was a Swords. Opponent's at 9. This is 8 damage currently. It is a new Stoneforge. That 3 to cast? Is that just castable here? Yes. Thanks, I hate it. Yeah, so if I don't miss that attack earlier, I'm in so much better shape here. So yeah, I just have to hit the creature, otherwise Batterskull equip gains a whole bunch of life. That's still coming though, is the problem. And there's Kaldra too. Rough. Now my opponent has a chump blocker and a creature that can be equipped by Batterskull next turn. I'll just draw another Pyrogoyf. That's not another Pyrogoyf. Shouldn't do this yet. Let's go into graveyard. Can't be blocked. Yuck. Well, historically, the deck with life gain tends to do pretty well versus burn, so this is perhaps not unexpected. Opponent goes to 4, probably rationalizing that, you know, Batterskull gaining them 8 life here is enough. Oh, I guess it could be 9, right? They can equip Kaldra. I'm live for a Pyrogoyf to kill my opponent, though, right? Not through the blocker? Okay. That will not do it. GG's. Okay, so we have a sort of defensive hand here, where I try to Thoughtseize my opponent's first 2 reasonable plays, and then go to Goyf Town. Alright, opponent said some kind words. Now, am I playing Stalker, or am I Thoughtseizing them? I think I am Thoughtseizing. I think there's very little cost to doing this off of a basic, at least this time around. I don't want my opponent to do something broken like a Nadu here. Oh god. A redundant hand. But no white mana. Oh, that's weird. So neither Reliquary is very, very good against what I'm doing. Endurance is annoying, but doesn't matter that much. I could just take the Scrib Ranger so that Dryad Arbor can't be untapped. I would really like to take both Knights before my opponent finds white mana. That's the way that I'm gonna do this. No fetch, no fetch, no fetch, no fetch. Okay, yeah, that's fine. Like, it has an effect in the short term, but it's not that meaningful of an effect. No Dryad Arbor attack so that my opponent can play out Scrib Ranger. That's fine. Dismiss. Thoughtseize target you. And now a Swords that's also not castable. I don't interact with cards like Maze of Ith. I'm going to take the Knight. Badlands fine. Badlands is probably fine if I have a Troll here. Yeah, that's fine. Then I will just get my Stalker going. Opponent's got Swords, Endurance, question mark card. The Endurance is castable. Damn it. I'll take 1 in combat, and then my opponent can Wasteland me off of Badlands. That's fine. I don't think that timing makes sense. Yeah, that leaves me with a land in graveyard. I think I'm going to go Yaw, Yaw. Oh, bad lands to hand. Send in for 2. And scale up Stalker once again. Once this scales up one more time, it walls Endurance. And I would like to aggressively surveil some card into graveyard to just grow this. Now that is white mana, 4 Swords to Plowshares. I'm at 8. And I'll surveil. Reanimate is not currently very good. I'm just going to send that to graveyard to grow my creatures. Stalker's not great. Got Pyrogoyf coming the following turn. So 1, 2, 3. Am I going to hold back this body to save 1 point of life now? Let's say yes. Castable 3-drop. 4-drop. Grist off Green Sun? Untap. Oh no, it's big, whatever it is. Green Sun for 3 with 1 floating. Endurance? Sure. I don't understand. So this is giving me a chance to block with my Death Touch creature and take out an Endurance when, like, it almost certainly is going to get pointed at this anyway. I'm good with that. And then we'll see if this gets used here to save this Endurance. It does not. Our Lightning Bolt's interesting. Instance likely to hit the graveyard with that Source of Plowshares or my Lightning Bolt. I think I'm just going to play a land and pass the turn and have a Stalker activation available as well as Lightning Bolt available, and then Pyrogoyf the following turn. Let's see what my opponent does with the combat step here. Exalted off of Endurance. So I could kill this using 2 cards. Might need to. Like, as much as I want to take away this white source and do cute things, might need to just try to stabilize the board in the short term and then just let Pyrogoyf grow. Okay. So I can play this and use it to get rid of Noble Hierarch before playing Pyrogoyf. Do it now? No, I'm not going to do it now. They might fog damage in the attack step by waiting. The punish is Knight of the Reliquary as a draw. For Ranger activation. Lock. Sure. Then I will nuke Noble Hierarch. Fortunately, this is bigger than my Pyrogoyf. All that wiggling I did is kind of for naught. I can take 1 hit to face of this. There is a land in graveyard for Pyrogoyf purposes already. So yeah, probably hit the Scrib Ranger. Hitting Dryad Arbor doesn't make sense with the Scrib Ranger in play. There's the Taiga again. It's another Moloch. Holy shit. In multiples. That puts me to 1, I think, with no realistic outs. My opponent is just at 18. Just got out mid-ranged. Had a little wiggle room there for how to play that. The Molten Collapse is obviously pretty good. Blood Moon's not crazy versus my opponent. Those are probably the only things that I can be thinking about here. My opponent has a whole bunch of Endurances, making my reanimation stuff awkward, and my creature size is inconsistent. I think I'm going to go Reanimate out. I also don't know how robust my opponent's Knight of the Reliquary package is here. I don't know if I am facing down Maze of Ith style cards or not. This is unimpressive, but I think I keep it. I have lands to cast my spells, and I have removal spells. Yikes, for multiple Dryad Arbor style cards that can come down early. Yep. Opponent's going to need a lot of luck here. Savannah and Swords. That's fine. I did not really care about that creature, if I am being honest. I'll look at my own top card here. It's a Stalker. I don't really want to draw that. Do I want to surveil land? Yes. I really don't want to draw that. I will open myself up to Wasteland. Fable is fine. I'm just going to put it into my graveyard to grow other stuff, though. Like, there's now 3 card types in my graveyard. We drew Stalker anyway. So Echoing Deeps does not have to enter tapped. Just can. You want to copy something. That might mean there's Dark Depth style stuff going on. So I'll get a basic here. And now we're going to try to go towards the mid-range stuff. Probably discarding a Stalker and a land next turn. Keeping both Lightning Bolts. Wow, actual factual Mother of Runes. Oh, there's a Goyf. That's great. I want to say yes. I'm going to get rid of a Stalker, and I'll get rid of a Lightning Bolt. Cool. Let's always just bolt a Mom. Send it. Opponent's at 18. I think I'm going to Thoughtseize here. I'll get rid of the Endurance so it can't clear graveyards for Pyrogoyf. Then I'll do this. I'll fetch. Get another basic in case I Blood Moon. So now I just have Pyrogoyf for whatever card my opponent taps out for, and then I have copy Pyrogoyf for probably pretty close to lethal the following turn. Yeah, the Moloch's fine. Alright, so Saga does the Saga thing. Pyrogoyf goes for that. Big boy indeed. The opponent's at 16, and if I untap, this is just 18 damage. So 12 from Pyrogoyf entering. Oh no, sorry, both Pyrogoyfs can attack, so that's 24 direct damage. There's your burn. I don't think I like this hand. I don't think it has a plan for success. This one I like. Man, my opponent is mulliganing very aggressively. They might be scared of Entomb Reanimate as something my deck could also just be doing. So I want to work towards this and this. I think that means that I'm Thoughtseizing on one and not playing Nethergoyf. Wasteland's very good against me this game. Very, very, very good against me. So I will Thoughtseize. Double Swords and Green Sun. Green Sun is currently getting a Mana Dork that I bolt. I'm going to take a Swords. Again, though, I'm very scared of Wasteland in the short term, and my opponent can Surveil land. King Dryad Arbor. There's Flagstones and the Green Sun for Reclaimer, which is not big yet. So before it can grow, let's nuke that. And then I need a land. A land as my draw step next turn almost certainly means that I win the game. Whereas if my opponent were to spike a Wasteland this turn, it would just be an unmitigated disaster. Oh shit. Everything is currently fine. We're nervous territory. Okay, no attack. This opponent is potentially holding up Endurance, which is indeed correct. Notably, my Goyfs are still 3/4 sized. So this is not the end of the world. But we could just have a non-game. Not this time. So I would like to Fable of the Mirrorbreaker here, because it is the card that is best versus the known Swords to Plowshares. This is also going to let me loot through this Blood Moon, which is not quite good here. It is another Endurance. Sure. And they target themselves to clear out their graveyard, which is good. That's another mid-range card. Yeah, my opponent just has 9 power in play. Yeah, I might just eat it for missing one too many land drops here. We're definitely looting. So this gets me enchantment. I think I have to keep my lifelinkers here. Okay. So this gains me 2 life off swords. This gains me 3 life. No, I'm going to remove 2 creatures this turn. So I kill an Endurance, and after attacks, I Lightning Bolt a Moloch, so that my opponent is hitting me for 3 and not 4. Still terrified of Wasteland. Okay, cool. So bam. I'm at 5, which is kind of like 9 if you went at it sideways. Ramunap Excavator, that's not too bad. That could absolutely be worst here. So I will Troll Cycle, get a basic, play this. I know Swords is coming. Is it still Goyf? I think it is still Goyf. And then hopefully I'm just good from there. Okay, so that happened immediately. That's good for me. Not dying to combat damage this turn. I am safe from Wasteland Recursion. Swords of Plowshares is currently the card that I'm scared of the most, because it allows me, or it stops me from playing one of my 2 Goyfs and then copying it with Reflection of Kiki-Jiki immediately. So like this one plus haste is currently online. That gains me, 4 to 8 life. Okay, this is fine. I take 5. 5 is okay. All right, hopefully I'm stable now. Bolt is cool, but I don't think as cool as this. And I am just going to copy immediately while I know this is safe. I still have the other one back defensively unless my opponent hits another Swords. All right, they're throwing away Ramunap. That's fine. Like, I still gain the life. They just keep me from, air quotes, drawing cards. What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Trample, lifelink, haste. Eat that damage. Go to 2. Kill it with Pyrogoyf. Attack in with other Goyf. I think that's fine. Game's not about life totals. I think I'm going to attack in, guarantee this life. Okay, opponent is throwing away the endurance body. That's very good for me. That means that I can take this out and like very clearly stabilize the board. Am I fine tapping out for Pyrogoyf? I think so. Ugh. Okay. I think I'm good. Unless there's another one of these fuckers. I've never seen this card in my life, but boy, that was scary. That's a horrific fucking thing to come in off of a green sun. That's really cool tech. Oh, that's Minskin Boo. That doesn't do it, right? Yeah. So it's close. So my opponent can have a 4/4. They can have a 6/6 with trample. But then I just block and devour them. That was surprisingly close, though. Like, individual points of life levels of close. Ugh. Hey, what if opponent just has Atraxa in their opening hand, huh? Huh? We're not going to keep this one. Whereas this hand is pretty great. Probably junk Reanimate with this hand. The Reanimate can do some cool stuff a couple turns down the line, but I think we are just like doing a tempo burn type thing based on this opening hand. My early game black creatures have been doing mid in this league thus far. The Goyfs are putting in some work though. 18. This is only a 1/2 as of right now, but I can Lightning Bolt at will to grow it. And then let's see if my opponent does something stupid like Entomb or Troll Cycle. Oh yeah. Joy. There's second land drop. And the Reanimate. Rough. Let's draw Molten Collapse, I guess. Get rid of you. Get rid of you. Now my opponent can ponder looking for Force of Will or Daze or whatever to protect this. I guess I could have Lightning Bolted face there. The burn aspect of the deck goes down the shitter when your opponent just gains 6 life. I'm going to fire these off right now. I think I am on literally only Molten Collapse as an out. Alright, there is a Daze. Molten Collapse is an out. Notably, if my opponent did not gain a bunch of life, the burn plan might be realistic, but like my opponent is going to have Archon and Atraxa here. I am literally dead. So the, oh fuck, I don't have Molten Collapse in game 1. I guess I was just dead. So the problem here is that I have to deal with both a Reanimator deck and then potentially opposing Goyfs and Bowmasters and Douthie Voidwalkers and all sorts of other shit. I think I'm going to go Lightning Bolts out. I think I'm going to trim the Urza's Bobble. And my opponent Thoughtseizing me and just reanimating some of this shit is rough. I'm going to trim about 2 of these. Maybe I don't get Duresses here. Or maybe I don't do Pyroblasts. Maybe I don't do Pyroblasts. I keep Duress. Interacts with the black cards. Then I like do something like that to round it out. Or I could trim 2 more of these and keep the Pyrogoyfs that can help burn my opponent out. I think I like this. This is a reasonable looking opening hand. This Thoughtseizes is on turn 1 and turn 2 while getting 2 fresh redraws for more lands. And I can Troll Cycle. I am actually going to look at the top card of both libraries before I cast Thoughtseize. Brainstorm over there, and Ancient Tomb over here. Thoughtseize you. I am going to take your Thoughtseize. I'm going to draw Ancient Tomb so that I can floop this into play. Well, I guess I'm drawing it no matter what. I was thinking about shuffling with Troll, but that's not happening with Double Bobble there. The opponent could draw Daze or Force or Ponder for them. Hopefully not. I could wait, but I think I want to jam here. I am successfully in play. Now I have a spiraling threat and something that can hopefully do something gross, but Entomb Reanimate is, you know, a thing that can just happen. Okay, so it's Troll Reanimate. Opponent is at 14. This does have Death Touch. I can attack into this, and I will. Oh, we're trading. Cool. So I'm going to see what you're drawing. A Goyf. You know, when that's on top of library, I sure as fuck can't Thoughtseize it. Alright. That's frustrating. Done that at face. Maybe opponent wanted the land, huh? Holy shit, they bowmastered. That's so good for me. Now they don't get to play the Goyf. And I get to take the Goyf with Thoughtseize. Holy shit. Holy shit. Game is saved. Oh. Wow, 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 wow. Fucking sick. Okay. So, Thoughtseize target you. No blue mana. Double Brainstorm available. Punchies? We fine with punchies? We're fine with punchies. Opponent's at 8, and I have an Urborg, so I don't need to tap that for mana. I've got a little buddy. And now my opponent gets to select some cards. I'm probably not selecting with Fable because Bowmasters exists. Opponent gets a lot of looks here. How big is this now? 5, 6? Sick. I think I am going to upkeep Surveil Land. Leyline of the Void. No. 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Yeah, so I just won't. I will attack with the Goblin Shaman, though, to get that extra mana. This is fine. And I'm totally fine just casting this into Daze here. It is Daze. It was not a hard cast Daze, which seems like a mistake. It's another one. And a Wasteland, that's probably not relevant. They could take out my Ancient Tomb or my Urborg here. Alright. That was a good draw. I cannot lie to you. That was a good top deck. That's not lethal, but I think that is effectively lethal. Because that just means that I have copy Pyrogoyf for lethal damage next turn. So the Pyrogoyfs don't kill these. It's kind of an issue. My opponent is playing them in multiples. Do I need more Pyrogoyfs over Nethergoyfs here? I maybe do. To just have something that goes to the face to finish off my opponent before they can gain that life. This is a great hand versus the mid-range side of my opponent's deck that absolutely dies to the Reanimator side. So we'll see which half of my opponent's deck they drew. Well, now if they have the Reanimator side, they can also just do this. Not great for me. Yeah. Roll. So let's cycle this immediately. Opponent's drawing a land. So I have a decent-sized attacker. That's a nice pickup. Push is fine. Wow, I might end up hardcasting this in 2 turns. That was not on my radar of things that was going to be possible. Fetch. Surveil. Randomly hit troll. Although that might not be better than this. I will surveil myself. Swamp can go to graveyard. We're not looking for additional land here. Now we're in this shit position where I can either choose to play around Daze and give my opponent another turn to draw a reanimation effect or a cantrip to get to it, or I can jam and get got by Daze. I think I am in jam territory. Like, this deck is busted. I don't think I get to wait. I ate Force of Will. Opponent's fetching. You have a second Surveil land. Junking a Wasteland. They did not want to go after my Ancient Tomb. They just wanted to do something broken themselves. Since they forced me last turn, they probably don't have Daze. I'm into this. I think I'm into this over the troll. I think I'm going to play Urborg. That way, in the hypothetical world where Daze happens, I don't have to take damage. I feel like I have dodged every possible bullet here. My opponent has basically only had mana here. Nothing scary. Not getting a fatal push off of this. I have a reanimate of my own now. This is nutty. And I get to grow my graveyard first. Oh, sure, that's fine. So, yeah. Recast. Reanimate. Guess I should have done this in the other order. I missed damage. I missed the damage from this other Goyf entering. It's like hyper relevant. Fucked up. My opponent's dead on board, so hopefully they don't just hit like Entomb Reanimate and punish me for that miss. Alright, needed to tighten up a little bit there, but like, this is why we're Goyfing, right? So that was 5 direct damage to face, plus another 5 combat damage from that just happening. Opponent could have been at 5 lower life total if I played a little tighter there. Proof of concept is real, but the blue-black Reanimator deck is so good. We just legitimately got lucky that they had nothing that game. Okay, opening hand is fine. I'm just going to play a land and pass the turn, likely with the intention of playing Fable next turn. Well, opponent now gets to select which one of the 3 drops I cast. And I hate this current metagame, because if I don't play a card next turn, it is such a incredibly significant tempo cost to play around Daze. I say no to that. I am comfortable jamming into Daze given that draw. But my opponent's deck is just so powerful, assuming that it is blue-black Reanimator again, that like if I wait and I don't put them through the Daze test, I can just potentially eat Entomb plus Reanimate instantly at any point this game. I mean, they can honestly just Reanimate this as well, and like that is problematic for my Lightning Bolt based hand. That is a Thoughtseize, so I lose my Reanimate. I am back down to nothing, unfortunately. And I've already used my Surveil land. So we are fully at the mercy of the top deck, which was merciful, to be fair. So now I can potentially loot away both of these bad cards next turn and try to find some gas. We do have this lurking in the graveyard as well. Wasteland is probably not what my opponent is looking for here. I'll chill with this fetch land for a minute. I am fine looting away both of these and seeing what happens. Go pick up a treasure token. Opponent's at 14. I'll do a Stalker, followed by another Goyf. And I wish I felt like any of this mattered. I'm still just absolutely fucking terrified of Entomb Reanimate. And I'm not really sure that I would beat an Atraxa slipping into play. Or Archon of Cruelty. Both are incredibly good here. Tapped land is a good sign for me. 5, 7, 8, 9 damage coming. Good Pyrogoyf for lethal. Bad land's not what I want. Send it. Opponent is at 5. I'll fetch for the purpose of scaling this up. Grab a basic, why not? Put this into play. I think I just leave you. I don't have too many duplicates in graveyard right now. Yeah, no. That's an Archon of Cruelty. Reanimate is not live. It has to be Animate dead. It is not. Why is it that when I win against this deck, I feel like I just got incredibly lucky? Alright. So, same general plan as last time. Leylines in, Molten Collapse in. I think we duressed but not Pyroblasted. Then I think I went Lightning Bolts out, Urza's Bobble out. Then I went back and forth on the other stuff. I think I settled on trimming these. Weird. These get bigger faster, but these have Menace, and the Menace sometimes matters after your opponent flops down an Atraxa or an Archon of Cruelty or whatever. I mean, I will keep this opening hand. I think it's going to lose, but I'm going to keep it. The issue is that Leyline of the Void shuts off my opponent's graveyard. So they can Thoughtseize me, take my troll, and then, like, this is a problem for me as that turns on my opponent's reanimation cards. I don't think I can get away with sideboarding out trolls. Like, I am landlight already. But this feels bad. It is a statement to how good this deck is that, like, when I have a targeted hate card for the deck in play, I'm still like, it doesn't matter. Alright, that's a great draw. Am I duressing around Daze? I guess let's see what my opponent's going to draw. Douthie Voidwalker. Yeah, I want this sorcery in my graveyard for the purposes of growing Goyfs. Okay, so Murktide Region is bad, Entomb is bad, Go for the Throat is good, Thoughtseize is great. Thoughtseize answers my dude, Go for the Throat answers my dude. I think I take Go for the Throat, and sometimes my opponent taps out for Douthie Voidwalker. Or cast Brainstorm for that matter. Probably not on Brainstorm. I take Go for the Throat. I get a Fable, which is kind of mid. There's the Underground Sea. Are you slamming Douthie? No. Oh, I've lost Fable over my creature. Okay. Molten Collapse will kill a creature. I can guarantee my next land drop. And I can also potentially surveil at the same time. So that's an end of turn Brainstorm for efficiency. My opponent has 2 pretty bad cards here. Okay, do I want my troll in the graveyard or under Douthie Voidwalker? I could intentionally not put it in graveyard. but there's no creature in graveyard yet to grow this. I think I put it in graveyard. So I think before that hits play, I fetch, I put a Surveil land trigger on the stack. In response to the Surveil land, I cycle Troll to pick up a Badlands. I don't want that extra land here. That can go to graveyard. This can resolve. I know half of my opponent's cards. I don't need to Molten Collapse Douthy immediately. I think I'm just going to jam. This Force of Will pitching Murktide. So this is now in exile with a shadow counter on it. Molten Collapse answers either Douthy. Alright, they're entombing to shuffle. Answers either Douthy or a Goyf if my opponent goes about it that way. So this is still fine for me, unless my opponent thought seizes the Molten Collapse. Alright, the opponent just sent another Murktide Regent to exile. Wasteland's fine. Alright, opponent is attacking in for 3. I'm at 16. Guess I could have played my other land to play around Spell Pierce specifically. Board is clear. This game is even-ish. Like, my opponent has cantrips for selection, but I have shut off a small number of their cards, honestly, because Reanimate on Troll is live. Yeah, that's not what I am looking for. Well, it has a Reanimate as follow-up, which is currently dead, but gets turned on if I answer the Troll. Stalker is not good here. I take 5. I'm bottoming out. I'll play a creature. I don't really have time to Fable. Holding too many lands doesn't really make sense. I'm dead to this in 2 more attack steps, or 1 more attack step if something like a Bowmaster happens. I mean, that's real good. I can never tap this unless I get an Urborg later. Goyf in play. This is the turn where my opponent wants a Brazen Borrower for the win. They bounce this out of play. I get out-tempoed. That's a land. Opponent's still attacking. They didn't hold back to block. So let's see if I'm dead to Bowmaster or Brazen Borrower. Oh wait, I'm gaining 4. I'm going up to exactly 5. I need another hit here. I get a Troll. Doesn't do it. I'm at exactly 5. I can cast a Troll. That doesn't matter. Yeah, I'm 1 turn cycle off here. Dead. I end up in slightly better shape this specific game if I do end up with a Troll under Douthy, I think. With my Goyf in hand at the time, though, I think it was correct to grow that creature. Alright, so I have a Troll Reanimate of my own, and I can start the game on a Stalker. This is hopefully fine. So, start, playline and play. I get a creature. It's not scaling up immediately. Might not even scale up next turn, but I think it's better doing this than just Troll cycling in my first turn. And we'll see if I get Thought Seized immediately. I don't. That's nice. Now I can start thinking about whether or not I want to try to reanimate around days. A lot of damage. I just jam Fable. I don't really want to get countered and then have my opponent just follow up immediately. I think I'm going to jam Fable this turn, even though this is objectively much more powerful. Alright, there's days. Now, this did get countered, so it will scale up my threat that is currently in play. Opponent's got a land drop, and it seems like another cantrip. Roll cycle, 1 mana, reanimate 1 mana, Nethergoyf 1 mana. Okay. Yeah. I think I get a Surveil land for the future. And play Urborg this turn. Attempt reanimate on Troll. It's in play. Attempt Nethergoyf around days. It's in play. I'll hit for 2. This feels good. This feels like it wins. Well, the land drop's not what I want to draw. Surveil land now in case I grow this. That's going to stay on top. In case something goes wrong, I want that card. So I imagine it's got to be like Petty Theft, right? Just Petty Theft on the Troll. Okay, same overall effect. Opponent is at 9. Permanent went to my graveyard, so I scale up. I don't think I'm too worried about Reanimate on my own Troll now. Like, it shrinks this, which is annoying, but this has Menace, and will be a 2-turn clock. So my opponent would need both like Animate Dead, and then a follow-up for the Stalker, and also something for a Barrowgoyf. Opponent is Swamp Cycling. Getting a Sewers, that does not feel good. Like, opponent kind of needs to be doing things right now. Well, they put a card on top, so EE is pretty good. Opponent will be at 2 and have 2 of their mana tied up for next turn. ThrabenU. Opponent goes to 2. I have no need to scale this up if EE is just going to kill both of them, so I'm going to put this in play but not use it. And then I will cast something that does not die to EE. Sure. I look forward to dying to Natural Land plus Animate Dead. Oh fuck, I didn't have a land in graveyard. Did I? Fuck. Okay, lethal. Found it. Yes. Now I will fetch. So I need enchantment, sorcery, land, and creature. But I think I get rid of the good creatures from my graveyard as well. This is a lethal attacker next turn. Put you in play. Fetch, change the power and toughness here. Passing the turn. What's the order of operations here? Cast first. I could grow this. I think so. No, I can't grow this. Send in. Fatal push. Sure. So now I don't have 4 or more card types in graveyard. So we're chilling. Alright. That's annoying. Hopefully I top deck an out to that. Negative. I'm going to look at my top card here. It is a troll, which I can hard cast. So I can force a trade here and then draw and cast a troll and not give my opponent a chance to get like a go for the throat or whatever that kills this. I am fine with that. It will put my opponent to 3 life. I just don't think I can risk this spiraling out of control. 2 card types in graveyard, bringing Nethergoyf back isn't an option yet. Cool. That is a Reanimate. A little too late here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Still be able to reanimate afterwards. I probably have to pay the 2 life here. Not happy about it. Okay, I am not interested in reanimate this. So this in theory kills next turn. There is a Brainstorm. There's Underground Sea from my opponent. You ready for my opponent to have Orcish Bellmaster to survive? Oh, well. It's only 2 damage right now? Slightly awkward. Alright, oh well. Send in. Yeah, there we go. Hanging my face. Now my opponent can triple block. Boards trade. 1, 2, 3, 4. Play Pyrogoyf. Trigger. Target your face for 2. Opponent goes to 2. Reanimate. Targeting a Goyf. This will deal the final 2 points of damage. Sure. Brainstorm. Fucking finally. GG's. That was miserable. I hated every minute of that. Okay, clarifying that statement. I hated every minute of that match. That was a miserable match. But the deck was fine. So, overall thoughts on the deck list here. If you want to burn people out, Pyrogoyf is the way to do it in Legacy. It is the most unfair burn adjacent thing that exists in the format right now, other than maybe Price of Progress, although that's very variable in how good it is going to be. Troll and Reanimate is dumb. I hope that either Troll or Entomb leaves the format. Troll plus Reanimate and previously Troll plus Grief has been glue that has held together some terrible decks that I've played on the channel. The format is so warped right now, with Sowing Mycospawn putting pressure on lands, Troll Reanimate, Entomb Reanimate putting pressure on everything that exists in the format, Oops All Spells making it so that Leyline of the Void is a necessary card, and then Leyline of the Void is not necessarily good enough versus Blue-Black Reanimator because of all of the jukes. I am looking forward to some format changes. It'll be maybe next week, 2 weeks now, depending on when this video releases for you all. The deck building here was good. I am happy with the deck building. The black creatures that we played were better than the Goblin Guides that I tried last time around. Going heavier on Troll and Reanimate was 100% correct versus the mid black removal spells that I was playing previously. We're pushing it at the land count of 19. It should maybe be land count 20, and I drop like one Fable or one Pyrogoyf. I don't know if you can drop the Fables, though. Like, the looting aspect helps to enable like 16 cards, well, 20 cards really. It might just be necessary. So like there is something here that is a real deck. I would probably be more excited to be messing around with this in a post-ban world. Like, you know, stuff that looks like this doesn't get banned in Legacy. Like, these are fair castable cards. So like this core of creatures in a Rakdos shell or maybe a Grixis shell is still totally reasonable. The Goyfs would scale up faster if I was playing Ponders and Brainstorms and such, that's for sure. Maybe even be a crazy person and play Thought Scour. I don't think I would do that, but, you know, you could. Generally speaking, the sideboard tools were reasonable. I maybe want 2 more cards for fair matchups in case I want to board out all of the Thoughtseizes like I did versus Maverick. I don't think I used Pyroblasts today. It's still a very reasonable card. Like, maybe you could mess with some of these slots or not play the Meltdown or not play the Blood Moons to fit into more fair removal cards like Shoulder's Edict, Dismembers, that sort of stuff. The logo, that's what you got to do if you want to burn people out. That's how you do it. You Pyrogoyf them, you copy the Pyrogoyf, you reanimate other Goyfs to get triggers. But it was a fight. It was a knockdown, drag down fight, especially against white removal and the blue-black reanimator deck. So I will leave it up to you whether or not this is something you want to emulate in the future. I am exhausted after that league. I'm going to go take a nap or something. If you all need some cards so that you can torture yourself at your local FNM and play this deck, which honestly, it wasn't that bad. Promo code ThrabenU will save you a bit on your order. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day. See ya.